Our guest this morning needs no introduction. She's been in show business for many years, and she's a very, very popular singer here in Australia, Sri Lanka, and many other countries. It's with great pleasure I'd like to introduce one of the most famous female singers in Sri Lanka, Dalreen Suby, in our studios. Good morning and welcome to our program.
Good morning, Derek. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for coming along. I know you're
Pleasure.
a very, very busy person. Dalreen, first of all, will you be able to tell us when did you start your music career?
Good God, Derek, it's a long journey. I remember my mother saying that before I could learn to walk, I was able to sing. And she used to keep me from the age of 3 to sit on top of the piano and sing the nursery rhymes, and if I sang out of tune, she used to pull my toes.
Oh, yeah.
And like that, it carried on, and then at the age of 9, I won a talent contest in the junior section.
This was a school?
No, it was a public thing.
Okay.
And I won it singing and imitating Elvis Presley.
Good.
And then my mother and her sister were famous singers. They went as the Kilat sisters,
Okay.
and they used to sing a lot, and they were known as the Andrew sisters of Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And it was after she gave up singing, maybe in the 50s, she started producing shows. And mostly all the artists that I even met at your concert have worked for her at some time.
Okay.
And there was I at all her shows, never paid, but ready to stand in for anybody who didn't come in or turn in. Be it dancing or singing, I was able to do anything.
Yeah.
Mainly to be on stage. So from that tender age, I loved being on stage. I loved that feeling. And of course, then I continued with school shows as well. And then
Now, talking about school, which school did you
I went to
attend?
Good Shepherd Convent,
Okay.
Kotehena.
Kotehena, yeah.
But my primary was at Holy Family Convent, Dehiwala.
Okay.
And of course, those days, it was not very nice for a female to get up on stage and sing, and they say, oh, it's not a done thing for a woman to do, a girl to do that. But I fought my way and I did it. Then it came for me to move on. I went for auditions with 2-3 bands, and they all told me I couldn't sing. Okay?
Okay.
So then I thought to myself, okay, I formed my own band.
And how old were you then?
I was 16, 15.
Right. Okay.
I said, I'm going to form my own band. And then I picked out musicians like Desmond De Silva and people, and I formed the Fireflies.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first band.
First band.
Then while working with the Fireflies, I got an offer to go and work with the Spitfires.
Mm-hmm. So they were the most popular bands that time?
Yeah, then Spitfires became very popular.
Mm-hmm.
We went in competition with the Jetliners who were working at the Coconut Grove.
Yeah.
And we worked at Selinko, doing the same sundown dances, and it was
Yeah.
tug of war.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, can
But-
I interrupt you there?
Yeah.
During that time, who were the lead singers for Spitfires?
The lead singers,
Was
we
it
had
Dalreen
many.
most of them?
There was Dalreen, there was Desmond De Silva, there was Conrad De Silva, there was Sohan Peris.
Okay.
We had a fantastic lineup.
And you were the only female singer?
The only female singer to
Okay.
sing at the Selinko
Selinko.
Hotel, sundown dances. And while I was singing with them, there was an American agent passing through, and she asked me, would I like to go to Vietnam? At that time, of course, I didn't know where Vietnam was.
Yeah.
And she says, I have selected a band, and would you like to join them? So it was Raj and the Savages.
Savages.
So being my
So
very first
yeah.
trip,
Yeah. They're again another top band. You know,
yes,
they were the,
being
they were, yeah.
my very first trip abroad, we didn't know
Yeah.
what the hell we
Yes.
were going in for. Didn't know that there was war. But we went for 3 months. We were auditioned by the USO, American organization. We were graded A, and we stayed there for 9 months.
During war.
During war, of course, we left our first agent because we
Yeah.
found that, we were being underpaid, and we were paid directly by the American forces.
Okay.
It was interesting, but sometimes it was a bit frightening, but we survived. We're still, And we came back to Sri Lanka. We brought in black music, soul music, because that's what we had to play for the Americans.
Okay.
It was a little new for Sri Lanka, but everybody loved it. Then from there, I worked with them for some time. Then I went to Germany. Once again, I don't know, these agents come, like my husband says, they come to you. You attract them like honey.
That's good. That's very
Honey
good.
to a bee, you attract them. And he was a famous singer and composer from Germany,
And what's his name?
Joachim Haider.
Okay.
And he says, would you like to come to Germany? Once again, a new country,
Yeah.
going for the first time. And
Yeah.
I went. I accepted that and I went. I studied German.
So can I
really
ask you how old were you then?
Now, Derek, now you're confusing me. Now. Would say I was now in my 20s.
Okay.
I was very young.
Yeah.
But I was married. And then I went there and I recorded 3 singles, because at that time there was no CDs. And I released one in German as well that went to the German charts.
Okay.
They liked my accent. Like when I do singular music, the singular people like my little burger accent.
accent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I worked there for 1 year, studied the language, did the recordings, everything. But then, unfortunately, family commitments, I had to go back home. And that was my biggest sadness in life, that I couldn't continue that because I had it all made,
Yeah.
Then came back and started singing with the Amazing Grace, and I have sung with all the top bands. You name it, I have sung. And so like that, still to date, I sing with everybody. I have no problem. I just finished a 3-year contract in Doha, Qatar, working with a Sri Lankan band.
Okay.
Not last year, I finished year before last. And now I am concentrating on being in Sri Lanka and doing more work there.
Now, talking about these shows you overseas, when you go for those events, do you only work on the weekends or do you work
Now, when I was in Doha, I used to work 6 days a week. One
and
day
for how
off.
long?
3 years.
Now, talking about music, Dalreen, like for myself, for example, there's a singer like Engelbert, I follow him.
Yeah.
Likewise, whom do you follow?
To be honest with you, I generally follow more male vocals. My favorites are the Eagles.
Okay.
Like Tom Jones, I still love him. Engelbert, I mean, like that's the type of music that you've grown up with. Of course, you get the new music now. I do a lot of songs from Lady Gaga and all those other things, depending on the place where I'm singing. But I prefer to do retro
Right.
because you bring back a lot of memories for a lot of people,
Yeah.
and like that.
Dalreen, it's been very interesting. Now, you're all different style of music you do. In the last few years, you have been singing some single songs. What was that move?
Not last few years, it's been some time,
Right.
Derek. It was in 1980 that Clarence Wijewardena came up to me and asked me, now enough of this Western music. I want to compose some songs for you. Are you interested in singing sinhala music? So I said, why not? But I don't know whether I can sing it. He said, we go to the studio and we'll try it. And of course, Clarence went mad. Every line he had to stop, because at that time my sinhala wasn't that good.
Okay.
But I'm proud to say, by working with Sri Lankan musicians, we talk in Sinhalese, and I have improved a lot in my Sinhala. So I recorded these 4 songs, and to date they are big hits for me.
What are the titles?
Obama Sathuwe, then my version of Chuda Manike, Apadedena. So those songs are still what we would say classics. And after that, I did. I've done 7 recordings to date, 4 CDs and 3 DVD, CDs and cassettes.
Cassettes. Okay.
Because those days we started off with cassettes and EPs,
Yeah.
and then only we moved to CDs. Then I put out 2 DVDs of my show. One was titled Life of Song from Then to Now, and the next one was Life of Song. The music don't have producers and things like you have in Australia. You know?
But then, having said that, you're doing all your recordings with the Gypsies. They got a beautiful studio, though.
Yes, I mean, my shows I did with the Gypsies. And like I say, I'm my own manager.
It's good to be.
My husband tried to be my manager. He says, I give up.
Yeah.
I give up, he says. Very difficult.
So, are you a business lady also?
Sort of. You have to be. Huh?
Okay.
You have to be. I work when I want to work.
Right.
Then suddenly, maybe 1 or 2 months, I don't want to work. I don't want to sing. I just want to
Okay.
chill out.
Okay. Now, finally, Dalreen, you being one of the great singers in Sri Lanka, what sort of advice will you give a female singer, upcoming female singer, to follow your footsteps?
What I will say, try to have your own image. Try not to imitate, you know. Come up with something new. Like if the one singer sings a song, all the other females will sing the same songs. That's why I select male songs, because it's something different.
Yeah, okay.
Otherwise, now this all these new songs, all are doing the same songs. You go to any club, it's the same repertoire. So, like, be different.
Be different.
Be different.
Dalreen, your career, it's, as I said, it's been a long career and a successful career.
Yeah.
What's your future vision?
I take it a day at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes I plan to do something, and then I say, oh, that's a bada. You know what a bada is?
Bada
Yes.
yeah.
I said, I plan too much. Then it's best to just do it.
Spur at the moment.
Spur at the moment. Because there are people in Sri Lanka who will wait to put a spoke. You know, there are people. I mean, you're planning a show, they will plan another show at the same day.
Yeah.
Or they'll take the same artist from your show and, you know, feature them somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's better to like plan it, say, like 2 weeks, put it out.
Okay.
You know what it is. You advertise people and then people don't come.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't want to make that mistake.
Yeah, definitely.
Because as far as I'm concerned, I know there are a lot of people who undercut me. It's so sad, you know, because then some people here in Australia, we are amazed at you. I said, what do you mean? No, because we have been told that you can't walk, and, you can't sing anymore. And so I said, okay, now seeing is believing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you do not you know what it's like,
Yeah,
Derek.
definitely. Yeah.
I'm sure you have a few enemies as well in the music scene, you know.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad because what I say is some of them are frustrated,
Pure jealousy, I suppose.
some of them are jealous, and some of them, I don't know. I don't know what to call them. You know?
Yeah. Anyway, Dalreen, it's been very, very interesting talking to you, and
Thank you,
and
Derek.
thanks for
Did
giving.
I speak too much?
No, not at all. You know, it's
Okay.
very interesting to speak to people like yourself,
Okay.
who's been in show business for many years
Yes.
and being very successful.
Thank you.
And let me wish you all the very best.
I wish you all the very best too, Derek.
Thank
and
you.
I hope your show in Sri Lanka will be as successful as it was here. And any assistance from me, count me in.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you, Dalreen.
All the best.
Thank you.